Our goal for this property is that we reestablish the wildlife haven it once was. Today we're down in South Texas, McMullen County, doing some ranch improvements on a property a little over 600 acres. And this particular property had spent quite a bit of time without any maintenance, any kind of upkeep, and we want to turn it back into that wildlife haven for our owners to have and enjoy, and a place where I'm sure they'll have us back periodically to do other maintenance items, but really get it to a point where they can do a lot of the maintenance on their own. A lot of the heavy lifting is going to be done by us. They can kind of take care of it from there. And so we've come in for the owners and we're doing some cleanup, and it's kind of a multi-stage process. We don't want to just come in with a bulldozer and start making the place look like a moon. We want to come in surgically and start kind of opening some areas up. We really utilize past satellite imagery. We can kind of see where 2 decades ago the prior owners had things cleaned up and maintained, and so we can kind of utilize that as a tool and a bit of a roadmap of things we may want to do for the future of the property as well. And so we've got our skid steer here today, and what we're doing, we're utilizing a tree puller to just kind of pull up some trees, open some areas up, but again, not coming in with a dozer or a large excavator where we're doing mass damage and mass clearing at this point. In doing so, one of the things that we have found is it really enhances both wildlife and livestock opportunities. We're going to be able to reestablish some native grasses that have really gone by the wayside in a lot of this area because of the dense tree coverage. But the wildlife too, getting rid of a lot of the dead underbrush, the dead trees that have fallen over, really going to enhance what the wildlife want to be a part of here. Another issue on this property is the lack of water. One of the things we're working on is bringing in some water lines, some new trough. We've helped them create a feed program, getting feeders out, established. Step one on any of these properties is always utilities. Where are we going to have utilities? Where's water? Where's power? Is it adequate? Do we need to add it? Do we need to supplement in other areas? Working hand in hand with the utility company and making sure that the power capabilities we may need are actually available. All very vital to the success of a project like this. One of the biggest challenges that we deal with is kind of uncovering what's been done in the past. Unfortunately, on this particular property, initially it was known there was one area where prior owners had dumped trash and who knows what all they dumped there. As we've gone in and cleaned this up a little bit more, we've now discovered 2 other areas where they've dumped trash and things like that. So there's a little remediation that was unforeseen because the brush has been cleaned up. For the most part, it's not too big of a deal. It's just additional work that was unforeseen. This property's got several ponds on it that currently are empty. It's got several old feeding areas that were once farmed and cleaned up and enhanced for wildlife that have just gone to the wayside over the last couple of decades. And so we've been brought in to help bring this back to life. Just in the week and a half we've been working, we've already seen the numbers of wildlife increase dramatically. So it works, the program works. TA French Custom Builder is synonymous with building custom homes, beautiful custom homes for people. That's what most folks know us for. What they don't see is our land development side, the side of us that can go into a rural property that is just a blank canvas, and we can turn it into a terrific home site, hunting lodge, any sort of recreational adventures or corporate place. We do a lot of work with corporations that they want to develop a hunting camp they can bring clients into, and they don't want to have to go in and do all the idea searching of where to do feed locations and where to do ponds. And so we've got the team that we can work together and bring it together and make it a wonderful place. So behind us here, we've got our Kubota running a FAE mulching head. And so what that does, it basically just pulverizes the plants in its path. Works really well on some of the smaller underbrush. It's a very, very efficient way to get rid of that brush. Downside is it doesn't take the roots with it. So we got to come back with a root grapple and come back and get the roots out of there. One interesting thing about TA French, that's actually our equipment. That's not just somebody that we hire to come out. We don't really know who it is or who's gonna show up. That's our own site work crew that we've got there, and we own the business. And so it's really awesome having that control over the site work. It makes sure that the outcome is exactly what we envision. I'm excited for you guys to see what work we've got in progress. Can't wait for you to see the final product.